This Kee High Coach Conversation brought to you by New Albin Savings Bank. We're with Kee High football coach Chad Winters. And I know, Coach, you're busy, obviously, with teaching. You're busy coaching a very good girls track team right now. But when Monday came and the high school football schedules were announced for the next couple of years, was there a little bit of a kid on Christmas morning feel to it?
Oh, most definitely. You always wait for that schedule to come out. This year we had to wait much longer than normal, just with everything that they had to go through. Districts came out there about a month ago, and for some schools, they find out a good chunk of their schedule because there's a lot of non-district games. For us, I mean, we knew 7 of the 8 teams that were going to play, so we're just waiting on that one non-district team, which you never know who they're going to match you up with. So very familiar opponent in West Central down there with Coach Milner. Pretty sure he's been coaching longer than I've been alive. So,
and looking at the district that came out about a month ago, do you guys got your frequent traveler miles ready to go for these next couple of years?
Yeah. That Friday morning they came out. Actually, I was out of school that day and just getting into D3 wrestling nationals down at Coralville and just pulling in, and all of a sudden I was having trouble pulling it up on my phone. My wife was, and get a couple texts about hope you warm up the bus and oofda, and saw who we're going and where we're going, and figured about 31 to 32 hours on a bus over the course of the next 2 seasons. So I know we're in not an ideal spot. Can't go to Wisconsin, can't go to Minnesota. So we're just hoping we'd have a few more closer games, but on the bright side, there are a lot of familiar faces that we've known have played over the last few years, with a couple new teams dropping down from 11-man that are sprinkled in. So,
and when you look at that travel situation, it's not like you guys haven't been used to that over the last over the time that you've really been an 8-man football team. Is that fair to say?
Correct. Yep. Boys are used to it. When the schedule actually came out yesterday, looking at it, it was broke down probably the best possible way that they could break it down. We go to Central City. Cal Wheatland's actually hosting their games at Midland, so that saves us probably about an extra half hour on the trip. And then Edco, and then another return trip to Midland to actually play Midland. And then the next year you're looking at trips to Springville and Easton Valley, or the far trip. So definitely doable. Could have been a lot worse if they'd have put more of those teams in one of the seasons and not the other. So,
and how do you perhaps change your approach to the season based on the schedule that you have, or is it a case of let's worry about us and what we can do well and let the chips fall where they may?
Most definitely. I mean, we're going to do what we do. We open our first 3 games are against teams that we've played for probably the last 4 or 5 years. So we're very familiar with West Central, with Central City, with Springville. And it's always tough when you go into the season if you get matched up against a team that has dropped down from 11-man. We have Kelmus Wheatland and we have Edco dropping down, but they're a little bit further down the schedule, a little bit easier to prepare for them when you have 2, 3, 4 game tapes on them instead of going in completely blind and you have no idea what they're going to run. So Edco's coming off a very, very successful season in 11-man, bowed out in a close game to MFL there. And I think at the second round of the playoffs, if I remember off the top of my head, and watching them run track, they got some athletes. I know not all of them come back, but they definitely have some athletes down there right now.
And what makes you most excited about August 27th, which is only a mere 122 days away? How excited are you for this year's group of Kee High football players?
Got a lot of guys returning that have played a lot of snaps for us over the last 2-3 years. They've really grown up, come a long ways. Some of them got thrown to the wolves a little bit sooner than what we would have liked, but they more than held their own in there. Need to stay healthy. That's the story of 8-man. You get a couple guys nicked up, and it can really put a damper on the season. Got 2 guys that are nursing injuries right now that are rehabbing from things that happened in either last year in football or in the off season. Actually, 3 guys. And all three going to be seniors and all three that look to play vital roles. So we need to continue to keep healthy, continue on that rehab part, and let the chips fall where they may when it comes to the season. I like how we set up in the district, and things will become a little bit clearer as the season goes on, obviously.
All right, Chad, thanks for taking some time in the short term. Best of luck with your girls track team. Get as many of those young women down to state as possible. And football will be here before we know it. And we look forward to chatting with you about the pigskin come fall.
All right. Can't wait, Darren. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Chad Winters, head coach of the Kee High football team.